So we had very strict timelines that we're about to embark on, in fact, very, very intensive. I think every 2 weeks we're supposed to be intensively taking part in these meetings. And due to COVID, in fact, a week before we were supposed to go for the rules of origin, then we were told, our government then told us that we had to, first of all, relax, avoid travel, and then, of course, the state of emergency was declared. So not only for us, but for everybody else. So as much as the agreement entered into force, we were not able to finalize these very important aspects of a trade agreement. Without these three, you can't actually trade.
Robiati says countries are trying to find ways to resume negotiations via virtual means, but it is a daunting task.
You can only imagine how difficult that would be. Imagine trying to have a virtual meeting amongst 54 countries with 4 different time zones. And 5 different languages. So can you imagine the logistics that would actually be required? As Mr. Wamkele Mene had mentioned, the Secretariat is actually trying to explore tools in which we can actually continue the negotiations. So that is why the agreement entered into force, but we're not actually able to operationalize it.
Although there is political will to implement important agreements such as the African Continental Free Trade, political analysts say time frames now are more cautious, calling for implementation of instruments.
Ultimately, AfCFTA feeds into the AU's Agenda 2063, which is a pretty long time from now, or from when it actually, from its inception. So I think this might actually steer us towards looking at trying to achieve short-term, medium-term developmental goals on the continent instead of having such extremely long timelines on our plans, because within the space of a year, even though there was a commitment, you can see that there's such a disruption.
She says countries are now forced to adapt existing tools to cope with the pandemic and speak to one another using technology through innovative ways that may already have been utilized, given their advantages.
We might be able to also save our taxpayers quite a lot of money using these type of tools instead of having to fly in and out of the country.